this next card, I'm going to be combining quite a few of the different stamps and die sets. So I'm going to start off with the paper pad as my background, and I'm going to put onto that, I've got the Pavilion here, which you can see I've stamped this lots already. It does come to you much cleaner. I've then got the coordinating die that will cut that out, and the trees and the signpost I'm actually going to be using as well. And then I've got the watching cricket stamp, which in all honesty isn't just about watching cricket. So these young lads here, they could be just chatting, getting together for a picnic. They could be kicking the football about, or of course they can absolutely be watching cricket or watching another sport. But going to the pavilion, going to the village green would be perfect activity for those. And you also have included the cat with the butterfly there, or the bumblebee, sorry. And we've got the outline dies for that. And then I'm also going to include the picnic basket as well, the stamp and the die that coordinates. So the backing paper that I've chosen from this pad is this muted one. I like to use the muted tones within this, and as you can see from the front we have the vivid ones and the paler ones as well. So by using the muted ones, it means your images are going to stand out a little bit more if you need them to, rather than being overtaken by the bright vivid background. But for this one, I'm also going to colour in my stamped images quite pale as well. So it gives that sort of watercolour effect or look to the end. So I've stamped my Pavilion stamp, and it is a large stamp. You may need a larger acrylic block or a stamping platform for that. And then I've used the outline die there to cut it out. And this is the result. So you can see the stamping is absolutely perfect. It's really clear. It's really beautiful. So easy to do as well. I love the detail that Claire includes in there. So as I said, I'm going to be colouring these in a little bit paler than I usually would. So very often I'll use alcohol pens, and these will give a bright, vivid look. But I'm actually going to use watercolour pencils instead. These can be any brand, but it's really easy to do and very forgiving. So just a little scribble almost of colour on there, and then I'm going to use a water brush here, or you could just use a paintbrush dipped in some water, and that will blend in that colour, and you can take it to the outside. So you can go over the entire image like that really quickly. And the same as well, so I've got some of the young boys here, the young lads, all cut out, or sorry, stamped. I'm going to colour those in and then cut those out as well. So here are my images now that I've coloured in. As you can see, I did keep it very pale, just enough to add some interest there. So with the Pavilion, I've gone slightly darker in the alcoves here, under where the windows are. We've got the dark slate roof, and we've also got the steps a little bit darker, but I sort of imagined that the front would be painted white, so that's been left white, which is really easy to do if you're stamping onto white cardstock. And then I've just taken a brown and gone around the timbers there that you can see, and around the doors as well. So very quick to colour in that large stamp set. I've then got the picnic basket as well, which has the glasses of drink and the fruits and the baguette and things coming out of it, also with the rug or the picnic blanket. And then I've chosen these two young boys. They're going to be on my card, and I've got a little sign that comes in with the Pavilion stamp set, and I've chosen the sentiment to go inside, or the sign that says village picnic today 1 p.m, because we are having a picnic here. Okay, so to put these onto my card, I'll just pop those to the side. I'm going to use a white card base, and I'm going to take this background that I chose earlier. You can see there. And I'm going to leave this without adding a border to it. Very often I would edge the border so it really stands out, but I want everything nice and pale, nice shades and tones that are quite muted, so you get that sort of watercolour look. So nice and easy to do today. So I'm just going to use some foam tape on the back here to pop this down. Just lining up the backing paper onto my card base, making sure the border all of the way around the edge is the same. Now with this Pavilion, you can have it in the centre, of course, or you can actually take it to one of the edges. Now I really like this tree, so I'm going to bring it to the edge here. I like to have the north, south, east, west sign there as well. So I'm just going to take a ruler and a pencil, draw a line whereabouts you want that pavilion to end. And then I'm just going to use a pair of scissors or a trimmer just to cut that line there. There, so that's going to sit just like that. Now again, I'm going to use foam tape to pop this down onto my card just to lift it up ever so slightly. And I'll use a smaller piece of foam tape for the centre here for the tower. There we go. So now we need to add in our lads having the picnic. So because of the scale, the picnic basket is quite large. So this is going to be at the front. I'm actually going to overhang this off the card very slightly. So this will be at the forefront, making sure it's overlapping anything. And then I'm going to have the young boys here. They're having a chat with each other, facing each other. And then in the background, so this will be around there, the village picnic sign as well. So we get the dimension of the larger picnic basket, back to the boys, and then back to the pavilion there. So all of this I'm going to stick down now with my foam tape. So there's all my elements tacked down with foam tape, so we get that dimension between them. And you can see by using the watercolour, they're not too strong and too bright. I don't want to waste this bit, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop this with some foam tape onto the other side of my card. Now this will just give the impression of more buildings in the village field, which often happens. Sometimes you have a village shop there maybe, or some other outhouses and things. So I'm just going to lift up this young boy here, and I'm just going to pop this over the other side to fill that space that's there. So now we have a really busy village green here. We have one pavilion, we have another building here as well. The sign saying that it's the village picnic today. They've got their picnic basket, and they're a little bit early because the time says just past 11:30 and the picnic's at 1. But you know, build up your own story. It's so much fun to do, and you can really work this around your very own village or community.